Well, isn't this the best way for us to start our Sunday safari? Certainly the best way for me to start my Sunday safari. We are sitting with 4 beautiful lionesses from the Rietspruit Pride. I don't know where the 5th lioness is or where the boys are. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this Sunday safari. As you can see, we are enjoying the company of 4 of our lovely lionesses here. We're not actually that far from Hay, so this has been a fabulous way for us to start the drive. And so great for me because it's been a little while since I've actually seen them. Maybe a couple of weeks. No, maybe not a couple of weeks. We've been on the reserve and doing some patron drives, but haven't been so lucky as to find them just yet in the last 2 weeks. So here they are, and doing exactly what we expect them to do. So before we go back to them, let me just greet those of you who are with us from our Patreon channel, and then I will show you the lions. I'll let James show you the lions because James is our cameraman this afternoon. Hello, Carol. Hello, Mary. Hello, Connie. Hello, Barbara. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Betty. Hello, Jan. Hello, hello, hello. If there's anybody that I've missed, have I said Barbara? Hello, Barbara. If there's anybody that I've missed, say hello again and I'll be sure to greet you by name. But I can't think of a better way to welcome you than to be showing you our lovely lionesses. They're having a good nap now. So, I mean, we expect that of them, right? You can see as well that they have eaten recently. And these 2 ladies who are cuddling very nicely for this heat, they are covered in flies. A great indication that the summer season is upon us, or at least almost upon us. It's only 4:30 our time, but the temperature is cooling off. It's definitely a beautiful spring afternoon. So some of these lionesses are rolling around, stretching. You can see this lioness having a little stretch. Not enough to inspire much action at the moment. All your lovely ladies, Mary, almost all your lovely ladies. We are missing 1 lioness. 1 lioness. She might actually be here somewhere in the shade. It's very likely that she's just out of our view at the moment. As we know, these lionesses, they blend so well. They won't be blending all that well in the next couple of weeks because we have had our first huge amount of rain. Huge, I say huge, but it was a really good way to start the season. Monday, Tuesday, even a bit on Wednesday, Thursday as well, we had some rain. So we had quite a bit of rain this week, and it's filled up some of the seasonal pans. It's you can see around the lionesses there's a very slight green tinge indicating that the grass is threatening to flush now. The vegetation is turning from brown to green, but still there's a nip in the air. It's not perfectly warm, and that might work in our favor if these ladies decide to get active. Although look at that belly. That belly is belonging to a very comfortable cat. I wonder what they've eaten. If you look at the lioness that's just at the back there, the one exactly where we are, but the one just at the back there, she's actually got a reddish tinge on her jowls as well as her front paw. even up to her elbows. Don't know if you can pick that up, but there's a very distinctive red tinge, and that'll be the blood of whatever it is that they've eaten. You can also see that she's got, I think it's actually burrs that are stuck in her fur there. Let me look with binoculars and confirm. Something stuck in her fur. I thought initially that it was flies. There are a lot of flies flying around. No, she's walked through a bush. She's picked up some burrs. She's far more covered than the rest of them. That must be unpleasant. She'll have to groom them off. Or she'll get one of her sisters to groom them off. I say sisters because I think she is one of the younger three. Just looking at her size, firstly, she's not Bucket. Bucket has made herself very distinctive in that she is now... Actually, it looks like Bucket's missing from here. She's not among these four. She is ridiculously large now. Something about the way her contraception has just made her pack on the pounds. So Bucket is very easily identified. But that lioness, besides the fact that she's not Bucket, she's got that little pink nose and just is quite bulky, which is another telltale sign that she's one of the younger three. Nialeti is a little bit more slight than the rest of them. You can see the ears flicking. Her ears, the lioness I've been speaking about, but both of them, their ears don't stay still for very long. They keep flicking. And just a further indication that the parasite load is building as we head into summer. Summer is the highest parasite load. There's just, because there's so much life, there's so much parasite. So there'll be little insects that are buzzing around their ears and making them a little bit uncomfortable, but they're not too phased. They deal with this all the time. In fact, I think a lot of that twitch that happens in their ears, and even like body shudders that you'll see on animals like zebra, the lions can do it too. I think a lot of that's largely involuntary. I don't think that it's probably can be controlled by them, but I think that they react to any small stimuli in and around that area. If you think about an ear, it's sensitive. It's sensitive to sound. You can feel when they've got a lot of hair in their ears. So if something brushes on that hair, they'll feel it, physically feel it, and they'll hear it. So they'll be able to perceive. It must be so irritating. Even just for me as a human, a mosquito buzzing around my ear, nothing is more frustrating. And I don't have copious amounts of sensitive hair. How long do they typically sleep and not travel after having a big meal? Jennifer, they can sleep for 22 hours. They'll sleep for long periods of time if they're well sated. And then, the need for, if it cools off, they might go and get some water. But it's not uncommon that if they've had a good meal, you'll leave them after they've eaten or around a carcass in the morning, and the next morning you'll still find them in a similar area. So if they don't need to exert themselves and expend too much energy, they're not going to. Plus, I mean, we're all the same. If we have a massive meal, we just want to lie down on the couch or on the sofa, depending on what you call it, and do as little as possible while we digest. I'm surprised that the sun isn't annoying this lioness in the front here. The lion is on the left, not the far left, just behind there. Yeah, thanks, James. She doesn't look like she's as well fed as the rest of them. She's looking good. I mean, she's in great condition, but the other three are really full. So maybe she got there a little bit later, or maybe it wasn't a huge kill. Could have been something a little bit smaller. Let me see if there's... No, was just checking to see if there's any update on if anyone had seen them on a carcass in the last little while, but nobody seems to have seen them, at least not and reported it on a kill. So I guess that means that it will be forever a mystery as to what they ate. If it were a large carcass, they wouldn't have moved very far from it. I mean, there's just no indication that there's a large carcass in the area. There would be vultures perched in the trees waiting for their opportunity. They would be taking it, not necessarily taking it in turns, but it would look like relays to and from the carcass to snack a bit more. So then whatever they ate, they finished, and they've moved on from. It just amazes me so often that it can be really, it's a warm afternoon. It's not, like I said, it's a spring afternoon. It's not a hot summer afternoon where we're suffering. But it does amaze me that in this kind of heat, they're still very comfortable to cuddle against one another. And I mean, they really struggle from the heat with all that fur.
Headed east off Mamba into the block towards the Rietspruit.
She rolled over. She said, "You're actually right, Victoria. We should not be cuddling. It is far too hot for us to be touching right now." At least that's what I imagine she's saying. In my limited understanding of lion communication. Now this female is lying on her head. So cute. If you were a human sleeping like this, you'd probably need a chiropractor tomorrow, or a physio. You can see there the strength of that jaw. We don't often get a look at the bottom part of the jaw, but if you look at the muscle on the side of her cheek, you can see that this is a very seriously powerful animal.
Anybody who argue with female lions? Anybody?
Yeah, I'm with them now. Just east of the junction of Bosvark and Beestip. I mean, if you think about the fact that their bite force is around 650 psi. That's for lionesses. It can be quite a bit more for a big male lion. But looking at her jaw there, you can tell like that's not a face that you want to mess with. It's a cute face. It's definitely not a face that you want to mess with. What might fascinate some of you is even though a lion has an incredibly strong bite force, the bite force of a leopard is actually a little bit more than a lion. It averages around 700 psi for a leopard. And a leopard is a third of the size of a lion. So pretty impressive. I mean, both are impressive, but I'm always impressed by leopards. Is there any big news on Rietspruit that we may have missed, Carol? Nothing major. There's no major updates. No new babies, no casualties. There's no huge news on this reserve. We have been seeing the male cheetah around Leadwood Dam, and that is out of the ordinary, but he must be interested in tracking down Mabai because she spends time in that area. So I think that I would have hoped that by now she actually would already be pregnant and that we would be expecting her to have cubs, but I haven't seen her in so long. She's been a little bit more elusive since her last cub was moved to Zimanga. So she has been seen, just not so much by me. And then the male cheetah has been migrating much further west, all the way to Leadwood Dam. So I think that he's seeking her out. I think if he's still trailing her, then she must not have conceived yet. But who knows? We need to get a proper good sighting of her to be able to tell whether or not she is showing any signs of potentially being pregnant. But this will be her fourth litter, and that's a good show. You know, she's done pretty well. She's done very well. It's also nice that she keeps raising females because females are fabulous for the population. She was like that the last time she was pregnant, Carol. I mean, she could very well be pregnant. Like I said, until we know, we won't, until we see her, one of us sees her, we're not going to know. But she's been like this since her last cub or her last offspring was removed, and that, her gestation period's only going to be 90 to 100 days. So she's been AWOL or keeping a low profile for much longer than that. So as much as I want to believe she's pregnant, she's been AWOL for a long time, but she has been seen. So if she had had cubs, there would be very clear indications of the fact that she's already had cubs. It would bowl me over if she had had cubs. I highly doubt that's the situation. I think she's either pregnant or she's still coming in and out of season, and that's why the male is interested in her. Do we know if the young male leopard seen a few times has stuck around? Mary, you're going to have to help me a little bit with which young male leopard you're referring to. At the moment, I can't report on any young males that are being seen frequently. There are 2 young females that are being seen frequently, more in the east, more in the Kaya side. One that is presumed to come from next door, BCC. Another one who I'm not entirely sure where she's coming from. I'm going to say Kezuko. Her name's something like that. Another pretty lady. Was that all we're going to get of you? So I'm not entirely sure about any young males who's sticking around. Blowbunk has been seen by homeowners and other people. He is around a lot. Who else? Just looking at this lioness with my binos. I'm second guessing myself, but I don't think it's bucket. Yeah, so there has been a bit of leopard activity. It's always slow. We were enjoying quite a few sightings of kudu krip in the winter, but now that the the rain has come, the bush is greening up, water is collecting in various seasonal pans. I think we're going to have harder time keeping track of our leopards. Although we say that, and Andrew had a fantastic spell of leopard viewing 1 week in summer last year. Last year or the beginning of this year? James, when did you start? April. So it would have been the beginning of this year that Andrew had. April already. Wow, you've been here long already. Yeah, so Andrew's last week, probably sometime in March. I'm tempted to spend just a few more minutes with these lionesses. We are starting to see little bits of movement, rolling over, yawning, stretching. Even if it's just to get out the sun, it would be nice to see them moving around. So let's just stick it out with them for a few more minutes, and then what we will do is continue and see if there's anything else to find this glorious Sunday afternoon. Yeah, the Witgat male has been seen, Carol. He's been seen as well. I'm not sure if that's the male that you're referring to, though, Mary. I did have a look at those new ID kits. It's definitely getting to the time of the year where we're going to have to start carrying bug spray around on Game Drive. It's building for bug spray season. Those of you traveling later this month, bring your bug spray. I'm going to give them 2 more minutes. And then I think... Affirmative. Going to give them 2 more minutes, and then I think what we're going to do is try come back a bit later if they haven't moved. Busy. It's busy. There's lots of vehicles out this afternoon. It's a Sunday afternoon. Everybody's coming on Game Drive. I think we're going to leave them. I think it's time for us to see what else we can find. Perhaps some rhino. I would love to see some rhino. Oh, you're looking at me. Love to see some rhino. What a great way to start our drive. I feel good about it now. Just checking how we can get out of here. I've been a little bit parked in. Let's see if we can go this way. was a nice way to start. I'm very happy to have seen them. I've missed them. They're not doing very much. Watch out here, James. Hello. Have fun. Okay, so I don't think there's any rhinos just yet around CEST, but we're going to take a slow amble up there. I'd love to catch up with him and show you him. Or perhaps, yeah, I mean, tracks of the elephants are on Kaya, so I think it's unlikely that we're going to get lucky with some elephant sightings this afternoon. But you never know. Anything can happen. There are 3 bulls on the reserve, and of course the herd is now sizable with the 2 new babies. I would love to see them as well. Anything, I'll take anything. I'm not fussy. I just like animals. Let me see if any of you have said anything. Any chance we can see the baby Ellies? Oh, Jennifer, I think it's unlikely given that their tracks are on Kaya, fresh tracks of them are on Kaya, but like I've just said, you never know. So chances are slim, very slim that we'll see them, but not nothing. They're not 0. Slim, but not 0. If they would oblige and come a little bit south and a little bit west and be on Blowbank or even on Leadwood, we would make the effort, and we would be, obviously, we would love to see them. And they have been spending a lot of time down here. They've just, in the last couple of days, decided to head up there. Carol, you say that you have bug spray and bug bracelets. You hope they work. They will work. Don't worry. It's not a big deal. People definitely overestimate the bug situation in South Africa. It's never quite as traumatic as people perceive.
Sorry, Carly, just repeat that again where the line on? Thank you very much.
What are we saying here? Oh, I've never heard of treated socks, insect-treated socks, Connie. That's very interesting. Like socks that repel bugs. Is that right? Am I right? Or am I wrong? If there are, then I definitely need some of those as well. There are some very harsh chemicals in some of these bug sprays, so if you can find other ways like bracelets and socks, that's a winner. Thanks, Connie. I'm very intrigued by insect socks. Only problem is it's when it's summer, you don't really always want to be wearing socks, but you do. You do for game drive, you do to sleep in. I don't know if you can see as we're moving around, but there's definitely, it's still quite brown. I mean, most of the tones that are on your screen are going to be brown tones. But if I just stop, maybe James, if you can just pop the camera in there and have a look, you'll see all the new shoots of grass that are coming through now. These are fresh shoots that have started coming through in the last couple of days. Yeah, look at that. That is the sign of life. that is spring for you. For me, it indicates frolicking zebras and baby impalas and all sorts of migrant birds calling, the first little sprigs of grass. And just up to the right, you'll see, I mean, the guaris, they hold their color most of the year, but they're extra vibrant now. And we are having, up to the right, sorry, not the left, the knob thorns are starting to flower, so things are turning. Things are getting very happy. I'm glad you can see the green undertones as we move, Mary. It's very exciting. The only concern with a green flush now is that it is early for us to have had really good rains, and so the bush just relaxes into the fresh season, the fresh spring, and it starts to, animals relax into it. There's more food, there's, you know, they start thinking, okay, cool, summer's coming, the pressure's a little bit off. And then often what can happen between October, end of September, beginning of November is that we get our hottest temperatures and we get no more rain. And so everything seems to contract, and then you get a really brutal dryness that can set in for another couple of months, where the seasonal pans that have started to fill, they dry up, the dams recede a little bit. Animals thought that they were heading into a season of plenty, but they weren't, and so they've got to stretch for another couple of months. So it's an interesting time to be out here, an interesting time to be coming on safari, an interesting time to enjoy the environment, because it's quite unpredictable for the next few months. We could have a little bit more rain, or we could go back to feeling the perils of winter. I'm glad to see that you've had of giraffe activity in camp. I did a private safari for Yuka, one of our previous guides, and a virtual safari, and we did a whole game drive and didn't see any giraffe. And then when we got back to Hayes, there were 4 or 5 of them that were drinking from the camp, drinking from the critter cam, just enjoying the vibrance around camp. So yeah, the giraffe have been spending a lot of time around Hayes, which we will not complain about. It's lovely to have the giraffe in and around camp. Gareth and I were staying in camp 2 months ago in the tents, and the thing that woke us up at night was not the elephants or the lions or the hyenas, it was actually the giraffe. They would firstly come and they would feed on the trees above the tents. But also, something that I only learned now is the noises that a giraffe's stomach can make when they are not feeling very well. We had to go outside our tent at 1 a.m. one morning just to solve a mystery, because we were convinced it was elephants. It was that same grumbling, bellowing noise of elephants, but when we opened the flap, we were greeted by a giraffe who were very startled because they were right at the entrance of our tent, and we were right at the entrance of our tent, and so it was a little bit of a whoa situation in the middle of the night. But yeah. Oh, I missed that. Yeah, so if ever you are out here sleeping in a canvas tent and you hear some really strange noises, don't immediately assume elephants. Could be giraffe.
Fly Rhino Ball on Leo Research, just east or waterlock.
That's quite far.
Copy.
On the other end of the game reserve there has been a white rhino spotted. Oh, sorry, Carol, you did ask about updates. We have had the black rhino have been seen mating. I'm sure that you are all aware of that. I haven't seen them. I don't even think Brent's seen them. I think he's just shared someone else's video. But that's pretty exciting. The calf is quite big now, so it will be time for that female to conceive and to have some more black rhino babies. We need some black rhino on this reserve. Let's see, there's a lot of chatter. Let me see what everybody's getting up to. Oh, Mary, that's a very bold call. A very bold call indeed to think that. I think the first Sunday of November is the 2nd of November, which would be a very early Impala lamb. November, right? Anytime in November. So not impossible, but I think it's very unlikely that we'll get our first lambs by the 2nd of November. I think by the time we have our safari on in December, you're going to see lots and lots and lots and lots of little Impala lambs. But before then, I don't think so. I love a warm safari. Love a warm afternoon in the bushveld. And because we have only had, or the last 3 days have been a bit rainy and overcast, even more than 3 days. Yesterday it drizzled, but that doesn't really count. It's been cold, so it's felt a bit winterish. So it's really nice to be out and it's warm and the sun's out and we can enjoy this summer. Spring, not summer. Yeah, I also think that you're right. I think it'll be around November the 11th, Mary. If any of you want to guess and you want to put your guesses on the channel so that we know. Hi.
It's you.
Yeah.
I hear you on the radio and I think somebody with a normal voice and a proper radio procedure. Who is this woman?
Who is this person? Are you heading to the Lion?
Yeah, what's
Nice.
the lineup there at the moment, do you know?
I left and there were 4 vehicles, so just check in.
Vehicles at a line cycle?
No, I left.
Oh, you
But
left.
then there were 3, yeah. 3 and 1 on the way.
Okay.
So,
I get an update now and see.
yeah, see if you can squeeze in there.
Okay.
I'm sure you will.
And the elephants. Earlier I heard something about Mamba Road. But
Yeah, on Kaya.
But it's on Kaya. Where on Kaya is Mamba Road?
I don't know. I heard it's south of the Tambuti drainage, but that's all I got from.
Because we were like, hey?
Where is
there's no Mamba Road here on Lowveld. But anyway, we'll have a look at those lines now and then we'll see.
Yeah, I also was very keen on those elephants. I was a bit disheartened.
Yeah, I just had the one bull. He was
In the
tunnel.
Rietspruit?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then he went west.
Okay. Maybe I'll catch him.
Yeah, he was at the tunnel when you go into the river, and then he went out again and went west.
Okay. I can't go that far west.
Yeah, not really. It's coming. So it's somewhere there, and he was quite okay. He had a little bit of a leak, but
Not grumpy.
I kept my distance.
Oh, okay.
After last time,
Yeah.
I don't want to scream like a hooligan again.
Yeah. After last time, that was a great show for the rest of us.
We were in also.
We're there. Bye. I wonder if any of you were on drive with us when we had an elephant bull who was on the other side of Sekoi Dam, and he gave that homeowner a really hard time. She had to jump and shout and give him an earful. It was funny, but it wouldn't have been funny if it was me. Apparently there is an elephant bull that's been seen far north on Leadwood, so we might make our way in that direction, but the reality is that we are far from there, and I don't know if we'll catch him before sunset, which is in about 40 minutes, and then we're not going to spotlight him. So I'll see what we can do. Maybe we'll get lucky, maybe we'll focus and we'll get there. But for now, we're just going to bumble around. I'm hoping for some rhinos. It would be so nice to see the rhinos. Carol, I don't know. You never know. Although we wouldn't be able to, because if you're not here, if you're at Amaya, we won't get you on camera when you're visiting. You will have done your Leadwood time. Not Leadwood, your Kaya time. Oh, look how cute they are. There's a grey Dacre and her young one here. The mom has dashed off. Don't know how long this little young one's going to hang around for.
Can you please come again?
Evidently not long at all, but that was very sweet. Maybe we can get a slightly different angle on them, James. I don't know. Let me try. I mean, obviously we're not exactly short of Dacre, but there's something very cute about a new one. Hi there. How are you? No, just a Dacre. Oh, down there, the lines are down there, but over here we're looking at the Dacre. No males, no. Beerstip and Bosvark Junction. So if you just continue all the way down this road, they'll be on your left. You're welcome. Oh, gotta drive this far. Where are they? On the other side. Let's go see. I really love a little Dacre. And it didn't look too nervous of us, so. I'm going on a Dacre dash. If you see them, let me know, James. I don't want to spook them. Oh, look at the dwarfs. Some dwarf mongooses. The lighting is really beautiful now. Oh, shame. They're not super keen on being viewed anymore. So I did just see one dash. I'm not sure if it was caught on camera. Okay, they are there. I'll stop far away from them. We can zoom in. The baby's actually more relaxed than the mother. What a sweetie. It's the young one. One is ensconced in the thicket. Definitely not interested. Looks like a young female. Very cute. Sometimes Dacres end up looking a bit scruffy when they live out here, but these little youngsters are always so perfect. James, I've still got a bit of a view. If I go there, I don't know, it's moving away from us now. But Mom's also up front there. Oh, that's definitely not Mom. Is it? No, it's a male. Looks like a male. It's a male. This is a young one. Maybe it's confused. Or maybe it's a young female. Potentially a young female, but that was definitely a male that was up ahead. Horns and other evidence suggest that it was not its mother. See, that's what happens when you assume things out here. You look like a fool. I agree, Connie. There's always an opportunity. Even if it's a Patreon video opportunity, you never know. You always have to keep your wits about you. Somebody's got a camera out here. It's always one of us as well. When I say somebody's got a camera, I mean somebody from the Painted Dog team's got a camera. So if you are out here visiting us, there's always a slight chance that you might feature on camera. Unless it really freaks you out, then maybe we'll honor your wishes if it totally freaks you out. It totally freaks James out and he still does it. Hey, James. You don't have a choice. Okay, well, there's our young duiker and our male duiker that have gone off into the distance. Let's see what else we can find. Very perplexing. Maybe what's happened there is that the mother's had a new offspring, and so that little one is just, figuring out who it can spend time with, who it can enjoy the company of, just so that it's not alone. Because I'm sure when you've just gone independent, being alone out here, when you're as small as a duiker, must be incredibly off-putting and a little bit daunting. So I can only imagine that it's a young one who's just latched onto another duiker, that it's...
Somebody out there, can you tell us how many stations are in Blowdown?
Fine.
I was number 4, but I've heard people call on. I don't know if they were from Lowveld or not. They didn't say a number, so I don't know anymore. Then you'll be number 6.
Moon is beautiful. It's already out. I don't know if we'll be able to... Should we try, James? I'm going to just turn to see if we can get the moon on camera. All right, I'm going to give you a bit more space, not through the trees. So it's not quite a full moon. I think we have 2 days to go. James is just finding it. It's tricky when I ask him. There you go. But it is pretty beautiful. You can see the edges are very crispy all the way around until the bottom left corner. We have, say, what do you think, a day or two? I don't think tomorrow. Maybe. No, 2 days. 2 days. That's great. I love the full moon. It's such a bonus out here. In fact, my favorite day in the moon cycle is the day after full moon, because then it rises, like 30 minutes after sunset. Technically 15 minutes. But the sky is dark enough, so it's the second day. I'm trying to think now which one it is. But there's a day or two after sunset, after full moon, where because it rises late, 15 minutes later each day, it gets this most beautiful reflection of the sun. And so it comes up as this fiery orange ball. But on a black night, on a backdrop of a dark night. because the sun is completely set. There's no more remnants of sunset. And then the moon peaks over the eastern horizon, and it was a nice moon shot, wasn't it? We're going to carry on. We'll carry on and see what else we can find. Michael, yeah, you haven't missed too much. We've had mating black rhinos recently, not on drive, and we've had, of course, the 2 baby elephants, and it's rained, so you might notice a green flush. Beyond that, I can't think of any other updates. Mabai and the male cheetah haven't been seen together, but they're both hanging out in the Leadwood area. So, I mean, that's as much as we have, like the flush of an area after a burn. So burning is harsh. Everybody who lives out here does enjoy being on the burn. Well, most people. We've all got so much work to do, but everybody wants to be participating in the burn tomorrow. James is nodding his head. He's like, I'll work later. I want to be on the burn. It is a fun time. So hopefully we'll get a cool Patreon video, and that will be out soon. That's another piece of reserve news, not so much sighting news. Oh, we did get, if you managed to have a look at the Patreon video last week, we got a couple of zebra from the reserve next door. That is a housing estate. That is Raptor's View. So there were 6 zebra that were chased onto our reserve through a funnel. Just as part of managing their numbers, we have a far more stable population of zebra and predator and prey, and the dynamics, because of course we have predators. So the 2 reserves agreed that we would happily take on some of their game, and they made a funnel through the fence and with a helicopter chased some game from that side onto this side. And they did it 2 days. They did Friday and Monday. And unfortunately, Monday, the team was just too busy to get out, and we were only given like 20 minutes notice. So we unfortunately weren't there. But on Friday, the week before, we were there. And so we were able to enjoy that experience. Betty, I actually need to follow up. I should ask Gareth or Kevin or somebody who will be more in the know of what was brought on the Monday or the Tuesday. But on the day that we were there, it was only the 6 zebra. It was 3, and then a pause, and then 3 again. Hi, everybody.
How are you doing?
Well, how are you?
Kids don't believe that they're on TV now.
Are they not? Because we have to respect them. But I am. Have a good drive. Bye. Oh, I like that giraffe. That's cool. They have a nice little giraffe inscription on their vehicle. Those kids were very excited to be on YouTube, but we didn't put them on. Because we have to respect the other people, and the children especially. What are we going to find next, James? Impala. James is rooting for impala. It would be nice to see impala, just to see how pregnant the females are looking. They are looking pregnant, but they're not showing in huge ways. So I don't know. I mean, the impala that I've seen on this reserve in the last week haven't looked like they're about to pop. I guess they still do have another month, at least. More than a month. But when they start looking really rotund, that's when you know you've got like 10 days. These are all of our rhino haunts, James. Where are the rhinos? You can see their middens everywhere. That's what I'm most keen for. I'm most keen to see a rhino. I had Ubuntu up here not long ago. And what's his name? I'm drawing a blank on one of the rhino bulls' names. And Konzo, he is the cheeky one. Let's go this way, put ourselves a little further in the west in the hopes that we'll see those rhino that were at Pofadadam. Maybe they're feeding in this area now. I'll catch up with them. Ooh, it's bumpy. Oppa. I'm about to lose my water bottle off the side of the car. Pushing the drive out by half an hour now. I mean, it was on purpose. We did it for this reason, is that we... Oh, there is something here. What's here? Oh, it's a nyala. I mean, we love nyalas. We can have a look at him. So we're going to get some good spotlighting action. So maybe we'll get lucky with some of our nocturnal animals. Don't run away, please. She's talking about you. Oh.
And how many stations for the last?
There you go. Lovely nyala bull. He's not going to hang around much. Just going to pull those so that they can pass us here, James. See if we... Good afternoon! Are you having a good drive? Just a quiet drive. Did you see the rhino there? They were.
Sorry, last person, your radio is transmitting very
Okay.
softly. We're struggling to hear.
I'm going to head into that area. Maybe I'll find them. Yeah, I did see them. I saw them. They're not doing much. They are very full.
Where's your man?
He's at home. He had a bit of a tummy bug. So, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh no. Oh no. So that's clearly happening as well then. Maybe that's what it is. We'll see you soon. James. Great job keeping eyes on this Nyala bull. Thank you. Can you tell how incredible their camouflage is? I mean, if James wasn't the cameraman that he is, there would be almost no indication that there was an animal there. To the naked eye, I struggled to see him. All I can really see sitting here is the white ridge on his back. That's the thing that catches my eye. But if he's at the, if he's at a more discreet angle, I don't pick it up at all. Michael, is there a possibility of anthrax affecting the Rietspruit area, or is it more towards the Kruger? So anthrax is always something to look out for, but it's also not something that anyone is panicking about too much. I mean, I think it's, it's brutal to say, but it is part of the general, the general population curve is affected by things like disease, including anthrax. There have been some cases of anthrax this season that at least first rains. Particularly, I think they've sampled kudu who have been carriers of anthrax who've died of it. It's very possible. If we start seeing deaths on this reserve, we're going to have to sample for anthrax. But as it stands, I mean, it doesn't worry anyone. It's not something that we are concerned about. We're hyper vigilant. Everyone's vigilant out here. But yeah, it can't be something that we worry too much about. There was also a much larger conversation. That the anthrax conversation this season has been blown a little bit out of proportion because they thought that some of the Kruger lions were infected by anthrax, but as it turns out, on closer inspection, those animals actually weren't infected by anthrax. So yes, we have had some positive anthrax tests in ungulate species, kudu and impala particularly. But yeah, we hope we don't see it on this reserve. We are in more of the buffer zone, and so we should be isolated from disease. But I mean, anthrax can lie dormant in the soil for up to 20 years. So there's really no knowing whether your population is potentially going to be subjected to it or not. So we'll just have to see. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep you posted as well, because it is fascinating, these natural cycles and how it works. Of course, it's a brutal cycle, but it's still interesting. It's still nature. It's still the way it works out here. But yeah, we will keep you posted. Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of an issue with social media, is that things do get blown out of control. I mean, in the time that we were at Mala Mala, Gareth was conservation manager for 4 of his 7.5 years there. Every single year we had animals dying of natural causes. Well, they were natural causes in summer, particularly after the first rains. And they were always sampled for anthrax. And in the 4 years that Gareth was doing that job, he didn't have a single positive anthrax result come back. So if you think about it, every single animal that we found dead, and in summer that was, maybe 1 a week, had to be sampled for anthrax. And none of them came back. So, as positive. So.
I haven't seen it yet, so I'm not sure how far. And then there was some elephants south of the tunnel.
I don't know if that gives you an idea of how, but when there is an outbreak, of course, then you have to take more care. And that's what's happening now, is that there seems to be a resurgence. And there are people who have reported anthrax in the areas surrounding Rietspruit, so we keep an eye out. Bye, John. Nice to have you here for the time that you could be here. Whoa, whoa. Bouncy. So I have a branch. Sounds like I have a branch. Let me just take a look. Got it. Amazing how a little branch can make so much noise. It'd be so annoying. I love this time of the evening. Let's head across to the west and see if there's any sign of those rhinos around Pofadder or south of Pofadder. It's also been a great area for leopards lately, so we'll be spending a little bit of time up here and then maybe we'll trundle south. So not just yet, but in a couple of, I'll point it out to you, but the areas that are going to be burnt are pretty much coming up on the right hand side. So this is still great. This is not going to be burnt, but tomorrow we'll be meeting at Pofadder Dam to start, and we'll be going, I think, all the way from Pofadder Dam to close to Secret Dam, maybe even push on to Leadwood Dam. So that's exciting. I'm excited about that. Ah, we have a beautiful tall friend. There we go. There's always a giraffe in this area. Reliably. She looks like a she. Let me just double check before I do another one of those embarrassing moments. I'm pretty sure it's a female. Just ruminating, just chewing on her cud, regurgitating, ruminating, taking it easy this Sunday afternoon. The giraffe is such a special creature to be at with around sunset because of how golden their natural colors are, and then how golden the lighting is that hits them.
Number 5.
You see that her cheeks just filled up. She brought up another bolus. Chewing that, and that typical side to side movement of her jaw, that's typical of herbivores. So herbivores are grinders, which means their lower jaw moves in circles, more side to side in the grinding process. James is capturing that beautifully now. If she were okay, watch her neck and watch her mouth. She's going to bring another bolus up. Here it comes. There it is. I love that. I could watch that all day. A giraffe ruminating. Because you can't see it so well in other animals. So when you're watching giraffe, you can see it start at the base of their neck, travel all the way up, and then hit their cheeks like they were almost not expecting it. They always get a bit of a fright when it arrives. Let's see if we can watch her do it one more time. She swallowed. Oh, there you go. There's some more giraffes that are going to come into frame behind her. She's not alone. Oh, interesting. So it seems that there was a tiny bit left of a wildebeest carcass where the lions were, and that there was a bit of skin left that they're feeding on. So it's exactly as we predicted, that there was a kill there, or that they had a kill. I didn't predict that the kill was there, but it sounds like there's very little to nothing left of that kill. Isn't that beautiful? moving behind the marula. Stunning. Okay, James, I think we should carry on because we are going to lose light. And if we're trying to find those rhinos, then I think we should try get to the dam. Whoa. Nice to see some giraffes from here, so I think that our wildebeest are fine, but it does always beg the question, which wildebeest are the lions chewing on? Whose skin have they got there? We say our wildebeest like we're so proud of the wildebeest that we get at Haste all the time, but for them to be that far north, it's not impossible, but it would surprise me a little bit. What do you think, James? Do you think that they got one of our wildebeest? Nah, James is not convinced. The sun is just dipping behind the mountain. So as I understand, the burn will start here. Fabulous, really, because we've had some really difficult sightings of animals in this area because it's so thick and so rocky and so unfortunate. I've nearly lost James and Ntiso in these areas trying to off-road to find lions when you can hear them feeding. They're right there, but seeing them is impossible. So I think that they'll be very grateful for some thinning out. James, is there something on the road way in the distance, or is that just... Oh, it's a bush. I was hoping it was a rhino bum. It's not a rhino bum. It's just a bush. Sorry, I should have waited. My bad. Oh, it's bumpy here. Remind me to make a mental note of the fact that this is very bumpy. My tolerance for bumpy roads has decreased. We have some impala. Mostly. So beautiful. Mostly the only one we can really see is a male. It'd be great if we could get a good look at some of the females to know whether any of them are pregnant, but tricky. I mean, they'll all be pregnant unless they're a male. It's a big boy. Just to the right. Yeah, tricky to see them through all the thicket. I always treasure impala sightings on this reserve because although we have a very good population, they don't hang around for us. So to be able to spend time with impala, I think they are the most underrated animal out here. Be able to spend time with them is so fascinating. They always create distance. They're not panicking, but they're creating distance. They're putting space between us and them. It's always like this. Pretty much the last of the impala bums. Great work, James. A for effort. He's doing a fabulous job. But they got really deep in there. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, James, this view or that view? Which view do you want of the dam? Where are we going to find the rhinos? Left. Whoa, sorry. Too much left. Too much vigor to go left. Nice thing about this vantage point is that you can often see the mountain very beautifully, and we haven't done a mountain marvel minute for my drive just yet. We're running out of time because the sun, she gone. She's dipped behind the horizon, said, good night, I'm going to sleep. Oh, there's something, oh, it's monkeys. Vivets. Some vervet monkeys. Oh, and a grey heron. Some more impala. I think the monkeys have left us. They're out. Last time I was here, there was a baboon carcass here. A female, it looked like she'd been bitten by a male. Aw, why are you leaving me? The grey heron's not hanging around. It was perching beautifully on the water. Mary Garrett's hand is just about perfect. He's got a bit of scarring, which is why he wears that glove, but he's fabulous. I think if you didn't know, you probably wouldn't know that he'd had, no, you would. I mean, there's a burn scar, but it's got full function, full mobility, which were things that we were told he probably wouldn't have. So we are very grateful. Just on the left as well, we have some impala, but they're moving off. Nothing wants to stick around for me. This grey heron is just using the last little bit of light to fish, find some food. He is quite spectacular, isn't he? There's almost always a grey heron at this dam. It makes sense. They feed on aquatic animals, so tadpoles, frogs, little small fish, insects, baby terrapins, anything really in this environment they will eat. Not enough, Betty, to fill the dams, but if you remember last year, before we got the rains, these dams were empty. There was no water in them. They were just pans, dried up pans. So even though this is not what we would expect from a full dam, it's significantly more water than it was this time last year, and then the water levels really decreased quite a bit after. So I think he is hunting. Let's see what goes on here. Ooh, imagine if we see a little kill. Come on, dude. Exactly, Carol, yeah. Dams are not full, but they look significantly better than they did this time last year. And the animals will be very happy with this. More than enough water to go around. There's also a ringneck dove in the background. Can you see how still this heron has gone? So it's seen something that it wants to hunt. It doesn't want whatever it's seen to know it's there, so it's using, oh no, clearly whatever it was moved away because it's relaxed its posture. It's relying on the fact that if it completely freezes, then perhaps the animal that it's hunting will move towards it. Any signs, nice Michael, any signs of tiny leopards or a hyena den? Brent had lots of tracks of a female leopard in the sunsloot. So him and I walked the sunsloot in the hopes that we would find any indication that there was a female leopard denning there. Unfortunately, we didn't, but that's not, I mean, Antioch female, on a camera trap a couple of months back looked like she was lactating. We haven't seen her with cubs on any camera traps, nor have we seen tracks of cubs. So, yeah, she would be our best bet. She would be what we would hope, who we hope would have cubs at the moment. It doesn't seem that Kudukrip has cubs, but she's a tricky one because she's would be a first-time mom that we know of. I mean, she might have had and lost cubs, but she certainly hasn't lactated and fed cubs for a long period of time. So she doesn't have that saggy belly that other leopards will have. And so, yeah, so we're not entirely sure what Kudukrip's situation is. Oh, he just caught something. Did he? Or is he drinking? What's he doing? Drinking, I think. No? Eating. Little drink. And then we did, Brent, myself, and Gareth went on a walk, and we were lucky enough to find what really does look like a brown hyena den, also near the sunsloot. I think we were looking for the leopards when we found that den. We were on foot, but no, we haven't been able to determine any further activity from that. So there might be tiny leopards or even a brown hyena den. I don't think that we have any indication of a spotted hyena den. There is a spotted hyena den, they assume, on raptors. So it would be just across the fence, and there is that trapdoor that hyenas would definitely use. So, you know, a clan in the north, it's unlikely that there's a clan on raptors and a clan on northern leadwood. So I think that the hyenas, if they're denning, they are denning just outside our reserve. And then the brown hyenas, we haven't been able to confirm. What we found was a significant amount of bones around an opening in a termite mound on the side of a riverbank. But there were not many tracks in that area, just scattered bones, which is a good indication of a hyena den. And then, of course, like I said, hoping that Antioch or Kudukrip or any one of them give us some little leopard cubs that we can view. This grey heron is fabulous, but I think I'm going to carry on. Just head a little bit further south in the hopes that maybe those lions will do something. I mean, the fact that they're still not doing very much doesn't give me that much hope. But it would be, I don't know, nice to try and catch up with them. Can feel the temperature dipping. So we just take it slow down here, maybe. We'll catch those rhinos as well. My guess would be that up here it would be that Pinder female and her two calves of differing ages. But I don't know. I wasn't here when they were seen or called in, so I heard them called in, but I don't know if it was a male or a female and two calves, or what the breakdown of the composition of the group was. I would absolutely love an established spotted hyena den on this property. I think nothing would make me happier. A spotted hyena den that stayed out of the way of the lions would make me a very happy girl. But the problem is our spotties are not that relaxed. We were getting that relaxed one around camp, that little Reggie one. I haven't seen it in a while. Have you seen it? I mean, you've been away. Gareth, this is not Gareth, everybody, this is James. James has been on a secret project, a very exciting secret project. But he's been away for a month shooting on a different location. So he hasn't seen that hyena. VM, can you hear me? Have you seen that hyena in and around camp? Check from VM. Oh, James says there were 3 in camp 4 nights ago. 3? That means we're going to have to name 2 more of them. Maybe not yet. Reggie has been around this week. Okay, good, Carol. Good. Thanks for letting me know. I like that. I like that Reggie's been around. And whoever the other 2 or 3 were that were seen 4 nights ago, I like that they're around as well. I miss spotties. I miss having really good hyena sightings. They're also very underrated, and you can spend so much time with them, and you can enjoy some seriously high quality predator sightings. What they offer is just phenomenal, because they're predators, and so they oh, where you gone? Okay, VM's just telling me that he hasn't seen them in a while, but James saw them 4 nights ago, so that's good. But they offer amazing sightings in terms of predators and predator interactions, and if you get them, especially around lambing season, and you see them, they do take their chances with hunting in this area. Of course, in East Africa or in other parts of Africa, they hunt more frequently. Even not other parts of Africa, but other reserves and other areas.
All over the river, yeah, but yeah, the whole herd up is
Just one bull. Kaya. Oh, bounce. One elephant bull on Kaya, so that's good to know. At least they're separated. So the 2 bulls are. I wonder where the 3rd bull is, because one was seen on Leadwood. Anyway, then there was something else that what was I saying? I was talking about hyenas, and then I got distracted by the radio. Yeah, they're also very, very caring of one another. So if you have a sighting of hyenas at the den, or hyenas when they are interacting with one another, you get the most incredible vocalizations because they're very vocal. You get incredible interactions because they have quite a strict hierarchy and the social ranking system, and there's a lot that goes into that as well in their society. And so I just think that hyenas are significantly overrated. If you're in an area where hyenas can be seen and you can see them, spend time with them, they never disappoint. And they're so curious, so they're best. James, are you fine? I nearly lost James and myself. I hit a proper root. Gosh, I didn't even notice that. A hyena visited last night. Thank you so much, Mary. And whoever that other person was, thank you for your teamwork on that. Good to know that there was a hyena in camp last night. That little Reggie one, he's particularly funny because she, I actually have no idea, has lost that timidness around the house. So when VM was there alone a couple of weeks ago, he said that he found it like on the patio, just exploring, enjoying camp. Almost time for a spotlight. Come on, rhinos. It's going to be a very well lit evening with this moon that is almost full. The prey species are going to be grateful for the fact that they have a full moon for the next couple of nights. It's just that much harder for the carnivores to sneak up on their prey in a well-lit night. So often you'll see more big cats if you're in an area, especially where leopards are a little bit more shy. You'll often see more leopards around the full moon, and that's not because during the day. That's not because it's, the moon is doing anything to them, except for the fact that they're just hungry. So if they would usually only be hunting at night and out during the night, they have to increase their chances of catching. What happens is that they spend more time active during the day in the hope that they will get lucky. It's just it's a case of the more time we spend hunting, eventually we'll get lucky. Whereas when it's new moon, the predators are quite successful with hunting because they have almost no eyesight after dark, so very poor eyesight after dark when there's no moonlight. All right, let's see what you all are saying. Michael, you go and hop in their suitcase. You can't hop in their suitcase. They can smuggle you across the borders and bring Michael on the lady safari. Only a little space left. I'm surprised you've started packing already, Carol. Actually, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised you started packing. All you need to make sure you bring is your camera. Oh, that's so funny, Michael. I love that you had somebody bring a kitten into your work and that you named it Biltong. a South African lady dropped off a kitten at Michael's work and he named it Biltong. For those of you who don't know, Biltong is a South African, it's like South African jerky, but if you ask anyone, apparently it's better than jerky. James is nodding vehemently, so I take his word for it. I actually haven't had jerky and I'm not that good at eating red meat, so. But biltong, like, South Africans go crazy for that stuff. It's like catnip. Biltong for South Africans is like catnip for everyone who eats biltong. I'm glad to hear you have 3 cameras, Carol. 3 sounds sufficient. Your camera, your nephew's camera, and your phone. That'll do. Now the only thing we have to do is make sure that we find things to fill your camera roll with. I'm not worried. The temperature's definitely cooled off. So in the last 5 minutes or so, we've had a bit of a temperature dip. It's not really cold enough to put a jacket on, but I'm starting to think about it. Okay, so this is actually where that brown hyena den is, James. I don't know if you're not going to be able to see it, but oh, that was very smooth. We're not going to get off, but I'm just going to get James to show you. So kind of, if you just point the nose of the camera in here, this is where Brent, myself, and Gareth have that brown hyena den signs and evidence. So where we are now is we're on Rietspruit Westpad, kind of where it crosses through the Diepsloot. So it's on a little track called Wit Diep Track. Now through there's a little termite mound, and just to the right of where the camera's pointing is the bank of the river. And that's where we've had indications of brown hyena den. So this is the area. I know that you can't see much, but it's good to know for those of you who have little maps or take notes or anything like that, that this is where we are. I mean, we walked around here maybe 6 weeks ago, so it would be time to come and walk around again, see if anything fresh, any more fresh signs. I'm not seeing tracks, but this has been a very well-used road today. So Andrew and Gareth had the blow bunk mail before Andrew left. Is that a diker down there? I think so. Is it? I want to shine on it quickly just to think that it's a cat. What's that? Okay, shame. Let's not blind it. Let's not blind it. It's very far away. Come on. Cool. Hold tight, James. Great. Should have warned him before I hit the tree root earlier. I would have warned myself too. Time to start spotlighting. It's not really time to put the spotlight on. It's that awkward 5 minutes where 5 to 10 minutes where there's enough light to see. Your spotlight doesn't penetrate very far. So we're just going to use our eyesight for the next little while, and then we will switch over to spotlights. Also, now that we've come out of the thick area, out of the Diepsloot and the banks of the Diepsloot, it's really a lot lighter. Let's see what anybody else has got to say. Good to know that you also saw the hyena last night, Carol. SAST is not providing the rhinos tonight. Anyway. Let's see. It's almost owl o'clock as well. Time for the owls to wake up and shake up after their day of rest. You can see how beautiful the sunset is just on my right. It's looking amazing. I'm switching over, James. I'm switching over to spotlight time. Oh, how good would it be if we could see some hyenas now that we've been speaking about them? I also am heading back in the direction of the lions. Like I said, they're not doing much, but perhaps we'll get lucky. Yeah, you're on TV. Bye, everyone. That's so funny. That little boy is about 3 or 4 years old, and he's asking his dad, "Am I on TV? Am I on TV?" I love it when children are excited about what we do. It's good to see that enthusiasm. Childlike zeal.
What have you not like to join you on the elephant head? Yeah, I keep coming. It's variables. I think that
Oh,
a couple of days would drive and 15 bird or shortly one bull is visible here, but and that's where they head for the cows.
So there's also Kudu Krips territory, so while we're moving towards the lions, hoping for hyena, we could also spot a leopard. Doesn't that just make the night sound so lucrative? Gosh, it's so beautiful. I wish it was always like this, not cold, not hot. The sunsets are still beautiful like winter, but there's enough new life that everything is perking up. It's just such a magical time of the year. I mean, I like winter because things happen, and I like summer because there's babies and migrant birds, and every season out here has its own amount of magic. But yeah, this is up there with some of the best times of the year. Come on, animals. Where are you, nocturnals? What about a genet? Or an owl? We've said an owl. An owl would be great. Checking on all of you. I've just neglected you now that I have a spotlight. Very true, Mary. Very true. Fed, happy lions do like to sing and serenade us. Of course, these are the girls, so they might not want to attract the attention of the boys, especially if they still think that there's something worth hanging on to with their wildebeest kill. Hold on, James. There you go. Let me check. Are there any stations still with the lions?
Yeah, hi, Trevor. There's 2 vehicles on lock.
Copy. I'll be keen to join there as a third. I'm 5 minutes out.
Okay, you know how to get in here. It's quite a, just watch out the bushes.
Copy.
Just watch out the bushes. It's quite a squeeze getting in.
Copy.
I said, watch out for the bushes. It's quite a squeeze getting in.
I just said copy. So,
if anybody can tell me whether it's male, female, wildebeest, kudu, Kevin, it's a wildebeest, I thought, yeah? I think yeah, there's a kudu also, but I don't know if you know how to tell male and female from the horn. Yeah, I find it's a little bit dark in here. I don't have my light. See one box. Then I couldn't see the kudu either. Looked like it could be a male wildebeest. The report from, I think, the My Africa guys or Kaya guys was that there was a kudu as well, but I never saw it.
wow, kudu and a wildebeest. This is getting very exciting. I don't know what these lions... I doubt that they've got both, but nothing is impossible for these lionesses. Hold on.
When the females have made their way in a more southerly direction and they're vocalizing, I'm kind of guessing they're probably with the kudu carcass.
Oh, awesome. It's good to hear that the females are singing, Mary. They were. Sounds like it's quite tricky to get in there now after dark, but we're going to do our best. At least we know where they were from the light, so It's good that in the light we found them so that we can head back in there now that it's dark. It does sound like they're maybe not viewable. We're going to try our best. Let's see if we can view them. Good evening. Hello. Busy drive. We've done a massive loop this evening. It's always funny when you do a huge loop and you really should have just stayed with the animals you got in the beginning. But I'm joking, we needed to go see if we could find the elephants, see if we could find the rhinos. There wasn't much to see with the sleeping lionesses at the time. Quite far. Trevor for Victoria. Good golly, they've really moved. Let's go, let's...
The bull still visible on the short link. Now crossing it heading east.
I'm not going to go in here, I'm going to go up there and see if we can get them. It doesn't sound positive, everybody, I must be honest with you. It doesn't sound like they are in an area now that can be viewed. They've gone further into the thicket, so we left them not far from where we are now, right here really. But I can hear vehicles moving and actually the lions roaring somewhere up here. So I'm just going to try and see if we can eliminate some of that
Everybody's still on Ledwood Drive if you get to where the
bushwhacking. Does it fall, James? They've seriously moved since we saw them earlier. No wonder he said I must be careful getting in there. Sounds like it is pretty rough. Copy. So I'm going to turn around. I'm just going to hover around at the other area. I'm definitely not, sorry everybody, I'm not going to head into the block right now where they currently are. Maybe what I'll do is just loop around. If they head south, and they've got to head quite a lot south, but they might come out further south on Bierstip or even on Hoofpad. It's just a little bit far in this thick block for us to try and follow the lions roaring. It's amazing. Amazing that they've done us dirty. Let me check what you guys are all saying. I've lost you. My chat is gone. I can see a car here. Nope, don't know why my. Hi Jennifer, so lovely to have had you with us. Have a great evening or day or whatever it is and wherever it is that you live. Okay, you can see the lights there. Sorry, just blocking this for a second so I can see somebody's spotlight coming through the bushes here. Let's try get in there. I'm just gonna go in on our track. It's the best I can think. We have like a few minutes left, and I don't think we're necessarily going to be successful in our endeavor. But if that car's far, do you know what? Like, it's worth a little try. Let's just try. Oops, sorry, Coron. Okay. No, they were sleeping here, so they've definitely moved on. I think it's going to get thick. I think it's going to get thick and nasty. No, that car hasn't got them either. Alrighty. It looks like these lionesses are not going to be in our favor. We're no longer in the lioness's favor this evening. So we're going to leave them. We're going to let them do their thing. They have marched on and left the area. As we would expect, it's typical lion behavior. Yeah, but that means that we've come to the end of our Sunday safari. Next month, I think it will be the 2nd of November that we will see you. Probably be Gareth. I don't think Brent's around, and I think it will be Gareth. So we will see you next Sunday, same time, same place. Bye for now.